Hello everyone, this is my teaser video for this coming Sunday, January 31st. It's the end of January already. This first month has flown by. And this teaser video is actually going to be a tough passage to read. You really kind of have to take your time, make sure you enunciate it correctly and do make sure you use all the punctuation. But it's Romans chapter 7, verses 14 through 20. Romans chapter 7, verses 14 through 20. And this is a passage Paul is talking about the struggles inside, basically talking about his sinful desires. And we know human nature is sinful desire. If we look at the fall with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, they were following human nature. And if we just go by our natural instincts, we're going to look out for our own best interest, and we will be following our sinful desire. And Paul, who was known as Saul, before he met Jesus on the Damascus Road, when he was Saul, he was a person who was basically persecuting the followers of Jesus and basically murdering them, or leading them to trial so they'd be murdered. Then he has a Damascus Road experience, and he becomes an ardent follower of Jesus, and he becomes one taking the message to the Gentiles. So he's kind of that beacon of light to the Gentiles. And so we know the letters, or many letters that Paul wrote that's in the Bible. And we see him as someone who was very strong in his faith, someone who was very committed. Yet he is talking about in this passage his internal struggle with sin and temptation. And a lot of people, when they first accept Jesus, they assume all their sinful desires and temptations will go away because they gave their life to Christ. But we have to understand Satan is still going to work. Satan is still trying to tempt us and lead us astray. And a lot of Christians, pastors, we all still fall short. We still all have sinful desires. And sometimes we just really feel bad about it. And we beat ourselves up because we can't resist the temptation, or we can't stop the feelings from coming up, or those desires from coming up. And we're thinking, wait, I'm a believer. I shouldn't have these thoughts. I shouldn't have these temptations anymore. And, and we start to feel bad about our faith. We start to feel bad about our approach. We start beating ourselves up. But if we see someone as strong as Paul, and his character and being a follower, if he can write a passage, a chapter, basically talking about he knows what he's supposed to do. He knows the law, the rules, the teachings that he's supposed to follow, but yet he still doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And how frustrated he is by that every time he slips, every time he falls short, it just he regrets it even more. And for me, as I was going through my spiritual journey, especially when I became a pastor, and realized I still have some of the same temptations I had before. I still have the same sinful desires, and we try to keep those desires down. We try to keep from falling short. And I probably said the same thing some of you said. I'm a believer in Jesus. I shouldn't have these thoughts anymore. I shouldn't have these desires or these wants anymore. But if I can see someone like Paul, who is still struggling as with everything he's done through Scripture, it gives me hope in my journey, in my walk. And all we really can do is try to be better the next day than we were today, knowing that we are going to fall short, and Satan is still going to keep trying to tempt us. Satan knows where our weaknesses are. He knows where our self-doubt is, and that's where he's going to kind of keep trying to pick and get in that niche where he can have control or kind of take root. This Sunday's message is going to start out. My opening is going to actually be playing a video, and the lyrics are very key. So for those who the song is not their type of music, I'm going to ask them to definitely focus on the lyrics. We'll have the lyrics on the screen. We all have different tastes in music and different preferences, and some people, like one worship style versus another, but the song I'm playing is actually one of my favorite songs, and it's the type of music I listen to on a regular basis. And to be honest, it's not something that's probably played in church that often. It's definitely not a hymnal or a song like that. It's something more or less you would hear at Creation Fest or Christian concerts or something like that. But it's key to understand the words, because I know the song is written about the same struggles and frustrations that Paul is talking about in this passage. And I think it's something that we all will be able to relate to. And hopefully it'll help everyone from beating yourselves up those times you do slip. Realizing that Satan is powerful, and Satan is going to attempt and know our weaknesses and try to exploit them. And even though we know what's right or what we should do, there's still going to be those same temptations that Paul's talking about. That even though he knows what he should do, he still does what he doesn't want to do. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. Hopefully you can be there and hear the message on Sunday. If not, we'll have the video out a few days afterwards, and just ask everyone to be safe. There's supposed to be some weather coming through this week, getting close to the winter weather again. But be safe, take care, and look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Bye.